Now then, let's talk. Let's talk. What is the difference between my dad and my uncle? Let's talk about the difference here. You see, my dad is the type of man. He never cared about his own family, right? He didn't care about having more responsibilities for his own actions, right? He wasn't bothered, right? My man had many times he could have a house. Look how much connections he had in Hackney Council, where he can easily have a 3, 4, even 5 bedroom house. You could easily have that. Because he knew a guy that could just offer him anything he wanted. All you had to do was buy the house. He never wanted to. He rather look after someone else's kid that don't belong to him and show them more love than his own biological kids. You see, my dad was a wicked man. He was a hateful man, right? He did wicked things. Don't get me wrong. He's not like the guy, right, wasn't smart. He was a smart man, right? If he wanted education, he could have his education. And he did have his qualification in the field that he was in. But guess what? He never cared. He just did his own thing. He wasn't bothered. So sometimes it's the way it is. As I grew up, my dad always showed me that he never liked me. He always showed it. Look how much times my sister used to tell lies on me. And my dad used to try and kick man down as a child. My dad tried to kick me down. He tried to kick me down like that. He tried to kick me down to the floor. He never liked me. He never had love for me. So I always knew that. So I always grew up around my mother. Always been around there. Right? But you see my uncle? He's different. He's that type of man. He got all these qualifications. He owned his house. Right? He made sure he was there for all these kids the best that he can. Right? If you look at all my uncle's kids, every single one of them's all gone university, all graduated, all pass. Look at the difference between my dad's side and my uncle's side. My uncle's side is nice, but look at my dad's side. It's a natural disaster. Two different things, two different sides. When you think about it very carefully, it's like, well, why won't my dad like my uncle? Why didn't my dad walk the same footsteps like my uncle? Do things properly. You see, my uncle thinks before he acts. He does his research. He knows what he's doing. He looks at the whole bigger picture, right, before he makes his final decision. Take a look at my dad's side. Look at the way he carry himself. He don't care, right? But sometimes it's the way it is, isn't it? It's the way it go. Growing up in a 3 bedroom house by myself, no one won't there, right? Going through hardship, difficulty, nearly half a year going to school, dirty clothes, no washing machine, no food cooked, there was nothing on the table. The only dinner I had was the school meals. School meals, that's the only thing that was there. When I come home, if I had a £5 Blackstock Road, Mustafa's chicken shop, I buy kebab and chips, can of coke, with the spare change like the 50p, put in the arcade machine, get 2 games, Marvel's Capcom, right? And that's how it was. Wolverine and Chun-Li, Wolverine, don't sorry, it would be Ryu and War Machine. It was Ryu and War Machine. You had Ryu and Chun-Li. So Ryu and Chun-Li was the main one I went with, right? So I played with all the characters in it. Jin, everyone like that. Played with everyone. It was really, really good. But those are the things that kept me going. Marvel vs. Capcom. Down Stone Newton, if you go around the Lewis Fish Bar, they had X-Men vs. Street Fighter. When I was at school, I was playing that. When I went Blackstock Road with Marvel's Capcom. These are the only things that kept me going, yo. Ken, Ryu, Chun-Li, Akuma, Guile, all these people you can think about. Sagat, all these people that you can think about. Right, all these things, it was good, like, it was good. You had the, I may say some characters by mistake, but you know what I mean. You got all the Street Fighter characters in there, so you had all like M Bison, you got Rouge, you got Wolverine, you had Gambit, you had everyone up in the Juggernaut, everyone. It was good. It was good. Apocalypse, Onslaught. It was good. So certain characters I may say may not be a part of the series because it's been a long time. So that's how that was. Growing up in a time where no one in school liked you, bullied in school, going through all these tough things, all these wicked things. So all your trials and tribulations you was going through in the world, right? Even going up to a point going to college to try to get education, electrical installation, bricklaying. On my dad's side, no one ever said to me, what would you like to be when you grow up? What would you like to have? Where you like to go? What qualification would you like to have in this world? Nothing. So if you look at my dad's side and uncle's side, you can clearly see the difference. You can see the difference. You can see the difference. You can clearly see the difference there. Because one side, everyone's all gone uni. One side is a natural disaster. It's probably no wonder why my uncle never introduced his kids to his brother's kids. Because he probably looked at his brother and goes, because that's his brother, he don't want anyone to say it to his face, but he's probably thinking, I'm ashamed of my brother. I'm ashamed of my nephews and everyone on that side. The embarrassment and the disgrace. There's no wonder why I feel like my uncle just left his side there and just left the brother side over there. So the two never met. They never came together. So when you think about it carefully, this is what it is, isn't it? What are you gonna do? So it's just how it is. So in the end of the day, that's how that go, innit? That's why when I think about life very carefully, right? I just keep going, innit? Because I know, innit? I know. Because I know. That's why I don't talk to my dad like that, really. I leave him to his own devices. Leave him to his own device because he's different. He does his own thing. He don't want his own biological kids around him. So you leave him to it. Leave him to his own device and let him do what he has to do. Because I know this. I'm aware of this. I know how it goes. Sometimes it's just the way it is. You can't do nothing about it. You just got to leave him to his own devices. And you got to do your own thing. And you got to move forward. Why? Sometimes it's just how it goes. Dude, I've been going for a long time. Long time we've been going for. But I realised it's the hard way. Sometimes it's how it is. Sometimes you can't have what you're looking for. Sometimes it's how it is. Sometimes I wondered, right? Maybe my dad, maybe my mum should have went with that Chinese man back then. Back in the day, a Chinese man approached my mum and said that he wanted to have a family with my mum. Right now, I would have been Blasian, I would have been half Chinese, I nearly said Japanese, half Chinese, half Jamaican. That's what I should have been right now. Really and truly, I should have been that right now. Speaking Chinese, I would have been going a different direction. My whole life would have changed. I would have been a different total person. I would have had women, kids. I would have been having a house in America. I would have went a different route. I would have been different now. I would have been a whole different person. If my mum went with him, this, what you see right now, and that over there, is a whole different page. Whole different story right now. Different story. But my mum didn't listen. My mum didn't listen to that calling, to that inner knowing. My mum went with him. None of this wouldn't be happening right now. It would have been me and my siblings. And we would have been good. We would have been nice. We would have been nice. But you know what? Sometimes some people miss that calling. They miss that sign, miss that message, and they make mistakes. Right? But you know what? I'm here now, innit? I'm here right now, innit? But at the end of the day, this is the way it is. Parents can have a major effect on their children. That's why parents have to be on point. If parents ain't on point, right, you know the child ain't gonna be on point. And because my dad were on point, that's why none of us ain't on point. However, my uncle's on point. That's why all these kids are on point. You see, it's frequency. Uncle on point, kids on point. My dad ain't on point, kids ain't on point. Do you understand? A role of a father is very important in a child's life. But that my dad didn't play his role properly. He played that poorly. Very poorly. My uncle played his role as the best as he can. Why? Because look at these kids. They're all educated. Even from the oldest to the youngest. They all got education. They're all good. Grandfather, everything. So he's laughing. Before you realise it, he's a great grandfather. But look at his brother's side. None of them ain't got no kids. On his brother's side, the bloodline's already ended. On his side, my uncle's side, bloodline is flowing. What are you gonna do? It's just the way it is. It's just the way it go, innit? Sometimes it's just the way it can be. What are you gonna do? Can't do nothing. So even when I look at it very carefully right now, even when I look at Rita never liked me because I feel like she saw something on my dad or knows something on my dad, and then she's looking at me the same way. Probably the reason why Rita's looking at me the same way. Right? Jean wasn't right. She was different. I feel Jean, right, is just like my uncle. Rita is like my dad. I feel like my dad and Rita carries this thing to them. But Jean and my uncle carry something else different. Sometimes it's the way it goes, just the way it is. What are you gonna do? It's just how it goes. There's a difference between these things here. If my dad was like my uncle, all his kids would have been different right now. You see my uncle, his nephew, Anthony, he was a smart child. Even Oxford University invited him to be there. They contacted my family and said, your son is so smart, we want him in Oxford University. What did my dad do? He didn't care. Talent down the drain. Talent gone. My brother was the star of this family. He was the main one. The most important member. The most important one. Out of all 6 of us siblings, because there's 6 of us. There's a total of 6 of us. Out of all 6 of us, on my dad's, from my side of things, of my siblings, there's a total of 6 of us. He was the number one, brightest one, smartest one. You see, Anthony, he's like my uncle. They got the brains. They will have the house. They'll have everything. They will know everything. They'll have everything. My older brother's like my uncle. They don't play. Once you put the pen in the hand and they get writing, that's it. It's done. And at the end of the day, I was the dumb one, the stupid one, the one at the bottom. But you know what? Just how it is, isn't it? Just how it goes. Just the way it is. But sometimes what you're gonna do? Parents have a big effect on the children, but they don't see that, they don't understand that. Look at me now. I'm a broken man. Broken man. I'm broken on the outside, broken on the inside. I'm ruined, I'm destroyed. I'm a natural wreck, I'm a catastrophe. I'm a natural disaster in this world, in this life. Doesn't matter if it's under mental, emotional, physical, spiritual. I'm broken on all 4 dimensions, on all levels. I'm broken on atomic level. Do you understand? It's just the way it is. But you know what? What are you gonna do? Just how it go, innit? Just the way it is. Sometimes it's how it is. What are you gonna do? That's the difference between the two. The difference. That's the difference between the two. That's what happens when you live that type of life and you go through these type of things. This is what you face. This is what you go through. But you know what? Sometimes it's the way it is. You can't do nothing about it. It's just how it is. It's just the way it was meant to be. That's how it is. But you know what? When I look at my life and my age, my life is really a waste. It's already over. It's already over. So I might as well live it to the end as a waste man. Trash can material. Trash can certified. Waste bin certified. Waste, trash, garbage certified material. That's what this one is right now. Pick this one up. Open the lid of the bin. Put the man in the bin. You have yourself a waste man. Put the sticker on it. Put certified. And everybody will know this is what you are. Certified waste man of London. Peace out. If you're a parent out there, don't make your child go through the same thing, because it may end up waste man. Trash bin, trash can, garbage, certified material like this one. You don't want that. Avoid that.